Hello, I'm here with Martine Mills-Hagen, who is the Head of Funding at the AIIB, and we have a couple of questions. Martine, congratulations on the AIIB's debut bond. There had been press reports saying that the deal would come as early as 2017. What was it that took so long to bring the deal?
Thank you. Firstly, thank you very much. You're absolutely right. We did talk about coming to the market at the end of 2017. And so, in fact, we have been working on that transaction since then. However, we believe that putting in place an institution of the caliber of AIIB, that for us means we really do need to be a global borrower. In other words, a borrower who issues with an SEC registration. And so, frankly, it just took some time to get the SEC registration in place. And given that we don't have any borrowing requirement currently, we just let that process take the time that it required.
You chose 5 very different banks for that debut deal. The competition, I imagine, was ferocious for such a prestigious mandate. What will be your approach for choosing lead managers in the future? Will you have a dealer panel?
Well, on this transaction, if you consider that AIIB has been in place for almost 4 years now, and we really have made some significant inroads and had some, good successes so far, and that has taken the support of quite a number of intermediaries across the bank. And so I would say that the panel on our inaugural transaction really reflected that, that support we've had across the bank, across our 5 lead managers, not to mention our 12 co-leads. And going forward, we obviously have to just take into consideration, who has supported the bank, as well as who really is most appropriate to take us to the market in whatever currency or structure that it is that we're doing.
A 5-year dollar deal was an obvious starting point for a benchmark, but presumably you want to build the curve, issue in different currencies and different formats. So how will you sequence those alternatives?
Yes, absolutely. We actually currently have no borrowing requirement. However, when we get to sort of the mid-2020s, we will need something in the region of $8 to $10 billion per annum. And obviously that kind of money requires a diversified funding program. So this is why we've come to the market already, in order to start that build out of a diversified program, such that we will be able to issue in a number of currencies, a number of markets, 2 different investor groups. And so we're currently putting in place that suite of programs. But of course, US dollars, we're US dollar based, and therefore our dollar benchmarks will always be the cornerstone of the funding program, where we will endeavour to be a frequent issuer and build a curve.